And obviously, I'm passionate about women in leadership because I can't, I'll never know what it's like to be a man in leadership. So I can only ever talk about it from my experience. That doesn't mean to say I want, women to replace men or anything like that, because I believe that we thrive when we work together. And, I just would love to see leadership embrace that more feminine aspect of things. If a woman, if somebody is a bit, not soft, that's the wrong word, but if somebody shows empathy in the workplace or, then they're seen as being weak. And I just would like, and I think that's why I want to see more leadership with female leaders, because I want those leadership characteristics to be embraced more by everybody, okay? Not just women. Because I think as well, men struggle with their own issues within leadership and within the construction industry. And I need to learn more about that. I need men to talk more about that and to open up about that just as much as women.
So if the people that are listening to the podcast that are identifying with the things that you're saying as a place where they feel at the moment, what would you say to them? And what would you say to your previous 31, 32, you said? Yeah. 31, 32-year-old self, from a position that you are at the moment?
I think, and I've said this before, and I think, the one thing that I've worked really, really hard on, and the one thing that I think, I will never stop working on, is that belief, and that the trust in myself. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust what my instincts were telling me, what my gut was telling me, until I hit the rock bottom.
Okay.
And then it was a case of, right, trust if something doesn't feel right, don't let society tell you that's the way it should be. I was always told I had ideas above my station and, and I was never going to do this. And if I set up a business, it was only ever going to be a hobby business and nobody liked me and I was annoying and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, of course, that took its toll. It did. It got me to, breaking point. But I think whatever was burning inside of me, never disappeared. And I think you have to listen to that.
How can you get to the point, though, where you can listen to that? What needs to happen? Do you really need to get to rock bottom in order for that to happen?
I mean, that's a really interesting question because that's something I've explored. And not just from my perspective, but talking to a lot of leaders. Yeah. And unfortunately... I think that you do. I think, growth comes from adversity. Strength comes from adversity. And as much as I feel, I look back to when I was a kid, right? And there was always something. I remember when I was 15, 16, 17, going to my boyfriend's parents and being like, yeah, I'm going to prove them. I'm going to show them what I'm going to do. So there was always part of me that was, wanted to achieve the best, the most that I could achieve. But I think the resilience, because I think it's the resilience, my determination, my resilience, that's what's got me through. We talk about compassionate listening, right? We talk about, empathetic listening. I see it happen so rarely because people want to jump in with an idea or a solution. People want to go, oh, yeah, I know how you feel because I went through the same. No, you didn't. You're not going through the same. I understand that you're trying to connect and in your brain, you're trying to kind of have some, but actually how we hold space is that we come into, and it is really hard and it's something I've really had to work on. But I think it means, trying to put away all your assumptions, trying to put away all your own experiences or your own ego to one side and just being there for somebody. And just, I'm here and I'm going to listen. I'm not going to tell you I know better. I'm not going to tell you I understand because as much as I may have had a similar experience, I'm not you. And I'm not coming to it with your experiences. You can shut people down immediately. We think, oh, yeah, I understand because I went through that too. That's a really good way of shutting a lot of people down. When people say it to me, and I'm like, I don't need to hear that. I just need you to listen in order to drive forward with sustainability. And what it's not doing is really thinking about its people, thinking about how it connects with its people and how it unlocks engagement and innovation. And I think when it gets its head around the fact that sustainability doesn't just mean having, reducing your carbon footprint, looking at greener materials, looking at circular economy, it means creating empathy. It means, and it's not just about trying to meet arbitrary numbers when it comes to diversity, when it comes to gender, it is still an organisation that's doing that. But once it starts to look beyond that, it will begin to grow and thrive and the structure will get taller, it will grow out. But at the minute, it's stuck because it's not recognising that missing piece.